In my mid-20s, I had my first bout of depression. In fact, because I have a jovial nature, I was called a laughing depressive because I hid it. I showed everyone else, because I wanted everyone else to be happy. So I made sure I kept that happy demeanor, but inside I was really struggling. And by then I had a toolkit, different meditations, breathing techniques, all sorts of things that I had learned over the years, and nothing was working. And then by chance, I was just scrolling on Facebook and I see Master O's face. I'd never heard of Master O. And actually I remember the words, it just said, "Do you need some energy?" And I thought, oh, boy. Yeah, I think I probably needed energy my whole life. And I remember I was just sitting on my swing in the garden. The sun was shining on me. And I just shut my eyes and he made this sound. And in that moment, I felt something lift off me. As I opened my eyes, everything was brighter.
Welcome to Get Enlightened with Master O. We're here for another episode of Wisdom, Energy and Healing. And we're here at Sankyang 1 with Master O and our very special guest, which is Deepika Mahabir, who's been working in the finance industry in London and the city for more than 20 years. You've got so much experience in finance, in legal, and a lot of experience as well in energy now. So we're looking forward to hearing your story. Tell us about you, Deepika.
Yes, like you said, I worked in the city for 20 years. I've got a beautiful daughter who's now 14 and married for all that time. And I guess my story is one that's quite similar to most people. The demands of life are quite challenging. And kind of over those 20 years, I was very ambitious and I continued to take new role after new role. I wanted to be the perfect mother, picking my daughter, dropping her, looking after my family, but also doing things in the community. And I don't think that's dissimilar to most people. We are juggling so many things all the time. So my life was to-do lists and Excel spreadsheets. So much so that my husband laughed. My wedding was planned as an Excel spreadsheet. My daughter's birth and the first year was planned in Excel. But throughout that time, in truth, I felt something was missing within me. And I saw the symptoms in my life. In my mid-20s, I had my first bout of depression because I remember asking my dad, surely this can't be life, that I go to work during the week just to earn money and enjoy the weekend. And I keep doing this, I get married, have a child, and I wait for retirement. Then I'm going to get this happiness. And he said, yeah, that's it. And I had been, like many people in the city, an A-type personality that's always trying to be a high achiever. So, after studying very hard to get where I wanted to in my mid-20s, that answer truly shook me. And I had my first lot of depression. And it gives me a lot of empathy now for those that suffer from depression, because it comes often as a surprise and it is not easy to get out of. And
what age did you realize that you were depressed?
At age 25. But in fact, because I have a jovial nature, I was called a laughing depressive because I hid it. I showed everyone else, because I wanted everyone else to be happy. So I made sure I kept that happy demeanor, but inside I was really struggling. And probably hadn't realized how much I was struggling for how long, because I had had strange health issues, different joints just swelling up at different points, but I'd always powered through everything. I had never stopped, actually. I'd never skipped a beat until something stopped me. And that was depression at the time. But everything is a gift. So it took me nearly two years to honestly get back to what I felt was myself. But then I started really thinking about, well, actually, I want to be happy. And what does this happiness mean? And that was probably the best part of a 20-year journey of reading every self-help book you could read and really trying to find out what is the source of happiness. But, our natures are our natures. So, of course, I continued to climb the career ladder, to do all those things in the world and actually be, on paper, very successful. But inside, I was still not happy. And if you kind of fast forward those 20 years, having a child had really depleted me. So I was already probably quite burnt out. But then you don't realize that when you have a child, you literally give everything physically. In the pregnancy, you give everything. And then afterwards, our modern life doesn't teach us to slow and look after yourself and the child.
Yeah.
So I went straight back into work. I still wasn't getting sleep at night. And it was just, I kind of felt like I was in a rat wheel, always busy. And the thing that really struck me is at work, you know, whenever you ask people, how are you? Everyone's words were not bad. I was like,
Yes.
honestly, is that going to be my life, that I'm just not bad? That's like one notch above bad. And so again, that perturbed me, and probably, you know, started to trigger me towards another depression, because I'd been searching for so long. And yes, I'd found things that had helped me a bit, but I was still I had this nature of always trying to strive for more. And it wasn't that nothing was good enough. I just felt that that was life, to be better, to get the next job, to go to a nicer place on holiday. You know, like you just keep going. It's like a momentum. And then COVID struck, and I got a new job during COVID.
Well
and
done.
worked really hard, extra hours. And then by the end of it, actually, I could feel, because I could remember my symptoms of depression, and I could feel them coming up. You know, without any reason, I was getting emotional. And by then, I had a huge toolkit, different meditations, breathing techniques, all sorts of things that I had learned over the years, and nothing was working, which actually started worrying me. And then by chance, I was just scrolling on Facebook, and I see Master O's face. I'd never heard of Master O. And actually, I remember the words. It just said, "Do you need some energy?" And I thought, oh boy, yeah, I think I probably needed energy my whole life. I don't even really know what this energy thing is, but it sounds good. So I attended one of the online treatments, actually expecting a talk.
So it was one of one of those classes that he gave during the pandemic every Sunday, was it?
Yes, so it was a live, free treatment, and I actually thought, I didn't know it was a treatment. I didn't even know what a treatment was. I thought he was going to explain to me how to change how I think, or eat better, or something to increase my energy. But online, I heard him using sound, which kind of sounds a bit like a washing machine or something, to treat different people. And they were just online thinking, oh, wow, they can feel the difference. So I thought it was a bit odd, but I continued, and I'm glad I continued, because I held on to the end. And he said, I'm going to give everyone a treatment. And I remember I was just sitting on my swing in the garden. The sun was shining on me, and I just shut my eyes, and he made this sound. And in that moment, I felt something lift off me. And people have said depression lifts. I'd never experienced it, because I'd had it for 2 years before. But there was something that I knew in that moment, it couldn't come back. It literally, as I opened my eyes, everything was brighter, everything was clearer.
Wow.
And I couldn't feel that sadness within me anymore. So I honestly, I kind of call it magic or a miracle. I did not understand at all what it was. But I had now heard this name, Master O. And so, of course, started Googling Master O. And then I found he had done these pre-recorded treatments online. And being a high achiever, I get very into things very quickly. So I started trying every single one of them. Some were for stress, some were for anxiety, some were with tiredness. And they worked really well. So I would spend, get a subscription, and I would just keep going. But that took me so far, because the thought kept coming, what is this, right? What could have really helped me so much? And in truth, I was far from cured. Like, yes, the depression had lifted, but I knew my tendency was the underlying reason for this. So maybe finally there was a solution here, because for many years I had studied how the mind works, right? So I understood it was something to do with my mind, but I hadn't managed to manage my mind well enough. It was still causing a bit of destruction and turmoil in my life, if I'm honest. If something triggered me, it might be a few days before I got over it. And I didn't want to be like that, because luckily nearly everything I'd read told me that within me, there was a potential for true happiness, true permanent happiness. And that sounded amazing. So I thought I should strive for that, because it's better than how I feel usually.
So you tried the instant energy treatments, and it helped you to manage your stress and your tiredness. So when you want to know more, what was the next step that you took?
Well, actually, I found out I could have a treatment with Master O. And so I organized that treatment and he treated me and it felt nice. But he asked me a question at the end. He said, "What do you want from life?" And I said, "Enlightenment." And I was expecting at least an hour's worth of wisdom. But he said, "We actually have a center in London and we have centers all around the world. You should go there and you will find the way to recharge your system and get to your true self." And so then my journey, I think my real journey began because I went to Master O's center in London called Sunkyong. And that's where I started having regular treatments. And for me, that's where I guess the belief and trust really came. Because every week my nature was to tire myself out. And I would go to work and I'd look after my daughter and look after everyone in life, probably except myself, and be very tired. And then I'd come to the center, I'd have an energy treatment. And not only would I feel better, but I would feel at home in myself. And that feeling of feeling at home, I had been looking for my whole life. But I still didn't know how it worked or what was I receiving. So I continued with treatments, but I realized at the heart of this, I was the problem. I had a pattern that I could not get rid of. And it was this kind of incessant kind of working pattern, right? I'm always going to push myself 5 times harder than someone else. I'm always going to try and look after everybody else. And in it, I hadn't learned how to really look after and love myself. And then the interesting thing is they mentioned that you can inherit some of these patterns. I had never considered that. I'd read many books and it was all about me, my mind, my emotions. And, that was for me to deal with. But I started looking at my family and I thought, my aunts and uncles, they were meant to have retired a long time ago. They were not. They were running businesses. They were taking more on. Oh my gosh, maybe it's all of us, which was thankfully partly a relief to me. But there was something in me that knew that, maybe this was the thing I'd been looking for, because I had spent a lot of time really finding out the kind of work I wanted to do in life, which was actually coaching at the time. But I just couldn't get myself out of the corporate world. You have your mortgage, you sent your child to a nice school, you're used to a certain lifestyle. And people think of you in a certain way. So you've kind of created a trapping of your own making, but it's very hard to come out of it.
Yeah.
And for me, I thought, well, maybe it's not just my own making. Maybe it's a pattern in my family. And if I clear it, then whatever I do is down to me. Whatever path I take or don't take, or if I don't make the effort, it's down to me. It's not because I haven't tried, because I had tried, to-do lists, Excel spreadsheets, that's all me. So, so I did the course to clear yourself of inherited patterns.
Ancestor healing.
Yes, ancestor
And
healing.
what was your experience of ancestor healing? I suppose you must have had some reference, maybe also from the Indian culture.
Yeah, so we have a big reference for our ancestors, particularly our grandparents. And for me, my grandparents had passed away, but they had a huge influence in my life and my upbringing. So, reverence for our elders has always been there. But in truth, we do rituals when our ancestors pass away, but they just ensure, or you hope they ensure, a smooth passing for them. I hadn't heard of anything really around healing them. It's always about respect. And actually, I remember saying to the practitioner at the time before I embarked on this, I need to admit I'm not doing this for them, I'm doing it for me. And she said, it's okay, you're actually one. So, if you're suffering, they're suffering. If you're doing it for them, their suffering is your suffering. So don't worry, just move forward. And it was a leap of faith. But there was something in me, and I didn't even know why, but I felt this to be the truth. So, when I started, the most interesting thing was within a day of starting, all of these uncomfortable feelings, some that I'd actually often experienced whether I was depressed or sad, all came back. And there was such a familiarity that I realized, oh my gosh,
This is them.
this is him. This wasn't me. And
Because I think this is a good point to explain to people online who don't know so much about the ancestor healing, that when you start ancestor healing, and it can be a bit of a longer course, these ancestors' energy actually tunes into you, and you kind of heal it through you. So the symptoms can actually get stronger while you're doing it.
yeah, and I wasn't prepared for that. But I, oddly, the familiarity, because I had some of these feelings since I was 12. I'd had a very overactive mind, and then I tried to use my own thought to try and calm it, and it had never really worked. So to see them or to feel it back, but no, this time it wasn't me, and I was doing something that could actually clear them, was amazing for me. And I remember in my last, you know, you kind of go through different ceremonies. And my last one, everyone was saying, congratulations. I really didn't know what I'd done. And in that moment, I don't think, you know, truthfully, at that moment, did I experience any difference? No. But within the next 3 months, the impact was profound. I remember only 2 weeks later, literally just walking down the street, and suddenly I feel a burst of happiness. I'm kind of looking at what I'm doing. I'm just walking down the street and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the happiness within. I can actually start to feel it. And for me, I was like, I knew it was true, but when you experience it, it's something different.
Beautiful.
And then within kind of a couple of weeks of that, I realized, oh my gosh, 70% of the thoughts in my head have disappeared. So much so that I sometimes go to watch my mind and knock, hello, where are you? Like, you were so noisy, always driving me for my whole life. These incessant thoughts, actually. Where had you gone? I mean, it was beautiful. I didn't want them back. But it was truly I had always looked for success and peace, actually. And finally, so the success had come in life, but the peace hadn't really, if I'm honest. And this was my first experience of deep peace within. And it never changed.
And did you find through that experience that you also achieved the feeling of being free, of having to always achieve something?
So I think when you don't have something within you prompting you to do things all that time, automatically the level of, you know, I don't have a to-do list anymore. But that is revolutionary, because many years ago, I had to read this quote that said, your to-do list only ends when you die. That's how bad it is. So luckily that didn't have to happen. But there was definitely a freedom. But I think it was actually as I continued the practice. So I gave myself 1 year to experiment. I thought I've done something big, but really I felt I had only begun the journey. And maybe there was something even vaster I could get out of this. So I started doing the key classes that allows you to receive this highest vibration that allowed the ancestor healing to happen. It allows me to receive it every day. So I experimented. So some days, again at work, you know, things are always changing. So I'd be stressed, quickly do a class. It's like, oh my God, I feel like I'm on holiday. This is great. Even once there was just this big, horrible work issue happening. The whole team was stressed. Even I was a bit stressed that day, but I came to the center, did a class. And the next day I was completely different in how I handled it.
Amazing.
They were all stuck in the angst about the situation. They couldn't believe that I had come and I was all so relaxed and knew what to do. But that was the power of this energy. It allowed me to think clearly, to move forward really successfully in life, but this time with compassion and love and care for myself. And so, yeah, it's, you know, in terms of freeing yourself, I did actually leave the corporate world and set up my own business to be a coach. That happened probably a year later. And it's been remarkable because in truth, I had tried for so long and wanted it for so long, but I didn't think I'd be able to do it. So now I believe energy is everything. If you change your energy and you change your vibration, specifically you raise it, right? Then you can literally, other things will come to you in life. So I feel very blessed Master O. Didn't know who you were, but I'm glad I found you. And after studying many, many books for over 20 years, the one thing I'd say is I hadn't had the experience of what I was looking for until I found your method. And what always astonishes me is how simple it is and how I could build it into my normal life, with my family life, with my work. And it's had a profound impact. So thank you.
So, Master O, it must be so gratifying for you. You know, you spent almost 40 years trying to help people with this universal vibration, this energy. And, you know, when you set up the pre-recorded treatments, and now that you've got your weekly treatment and more people signing up, you know, and it's something that's beyond time and space. They don't see you physically. You must be so happy to see how it's affected Deepika. And tell us more about it. What are you doing now to help people beyond time and space?
Yeah, I'm very, very happy to see the people like us help. Because people need so much help. Everybody like yourself, no matter what you do, you want to do the more. And if you look at the people around you, they need help. You can't help doing something to help them. So I think this is the life, the pattern, which is the beautiful. But the more we get involved, then what's happening? Yeah, we need more energy, and we tend to push ourselves to more and more and more and more, and then in the end, we don't have any energy anymore. We don't want to feel depressed, but people, they feel depressed. When they feel depressed, and that take over their life, they cannot get out. Then even though they're searching the different method and working on the mind, trying to change their habit, trying to work on their their body, trying to make their body they're healthy. Even that, a lot of people, they feel limited. They cannot find real solutions. So for me, I've been doing a lot of work, and myself I used to have a lot of physical problems, the emotional, the issues, and I took the journey to how to overcome my problems. The one day I found the method. There was how to stay connected to myself. And we spend the most of the time dealing with the work and the people and that draining energy and using energy all the time. But when we stay connected to ourselves, we can feed our mind and the body with beautiful, powerful energy. And then when I learned that, yeah, I manage myself the better. At the same time, I learn about how to universe taking care of our life with a very beautiful, very high the vibration. When I learned that, I wanna introduce to the world those who need the help. So I created the system, and which is sharing the vibration through instant treatment. So people, they don't know how to connect to themselves, how to connect to the source of the life. But once they have a chance to receive what they need, yeah, they open themselves, and the powerful the vibration, removed all the low vibration, including depression, burnout, anxiety, and all other the issues. And then the vibration naturally connected to ourselves, connected to the vibration the way we should be. Then we feel so much the happiness, so much peace, so much the calmness, and we stay there more and more and more. Then we understand, wow, the peace and the happiness are coming from inside. That's how we design the life. Is expressionable peace and the calmness, the happiness, the love, and the passions. And when we express this, our universe is supporters, and then we can connect to the universe more. That's what I've been teaching to the people. So when you do classes, you learn about how to receive the very highest vibration from mind of the universe. And then that help you to stay right here, not here. So, and even though you feel stressed out, receiving this the vibration and they help you to be free from everything, and you are completely ready to start new day or new journey, and you experience that beautifully. And when I look at you, and you're a very spiritual person, and this system that has been inside you, but the opportunities to come, and that help you to access the system you have, and now you know how to stay connected to the system, and in the system you develop yourself the more and more and more. So the watching you is so beautiful, achieving this, and then you cultivate your heart more. You've been helping a lot of people too. So really happy to see you today in this episode.
Thank you, Master O. Yeah, like I said, when it first helped me with that first depression, I thought it was magic. Now, as you've explained and I've understood after kind of following this practice for 2-3 years now, it really isn't. It's actually quite scientific. Energy is everywhere and in everything, but we're taught how to earn money, or we're taught different skills in life, but we're not taught how to manage our own energy. And it really is the secret to good health, happiness, and success. So for all of those out there, I just encourage you, come and learn the method. And the beauty is you don't have to be near one of Master O's centers. Everything that he does is now virtually online. So wherever you are, whatever you're doing, experiment and see what difference it makes for you.
And just to let you know, Master O is doing a weekly session. So if you're interested in receiving a treatment online, just like Deepika did, you can click on the link below, and it's every single week a really powerful online treatment with Master O, which can change your life. So that's all we've got time for today. From Songkyungwon here in South Korea, thank you, Deepika. It's been so wonderful hearing your story. I think it's going to inspire a lot of people who need to hear, how they can actually clear depression, not just mask it with antidepressants. You can actually get to the root of it and find, a burst of inner happiness that can stay with you forever. So with a lot of hope and a lot of love, goodbye for now and take good care. See you soon.